Steve Moran here with Senior Living Foresight, and I got to tell you, I'm really, really pumped up about this conversation. I am talking with, I'm going to let you get
Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy, and she is with a company called Ollie.
Yes.
And they do this crazy cool housing thing.
Yes.
It feels a little like college dormitory and a little bit like Upworks. And well, I don't know. Why don't you go ahead and talk to me about what it is you guys do?
Would love to. Thanks, Steve. Hi, I'm Ryan Murphy, and I am the Associate Director of Marketing and Communications for Ollie. We are based in New York City, and we are a co-living and property management startup. We focus on providing what we call the 4 Co's of co-living: cost savings, comfort, community, and convenience. So everything we do from our design of our apartments, and we provide them fully furnished and fully stocked with everything from your kitchenware and utensils to your linens and towels, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, all sorts of fun stuff to make your living convenient. Our spaces are a little bit smaller, and that's where our in-house architects and designers really come into play, because we want to make sure that every square inch of your home is used to its maximum efficiency. So you're not feeling like you're paying for space you don't use or you don't need. And that's really crucial in high density cities like New York and LA and San Francisco, and also second tier cities as well. We see people come to Ollie looking for cost savings right off the bat, and then they look at our social programming, which now in light of COVID-19 has all been taken online, but we're looking forward to being able to have in-person events come back as well. Or they're looking for the convenience of weekly housekeeping, having, you know, your linen and towel laundry be done for you, those kinds of things. So it's really just all one package deal. Your utilities are included. We have cable and Wi-Fi as well. So it's a plug and play, longer term solution. You know, when we hear the term dorms for adults, dorm for us is sometimes a 4-letter word, because we don't want that negative connotation of like, you know, just young hooligans living in our buildings. This is a product that's really meant for young professionals, anywhere from young professionals, first job out of college, all the way up to people who are well established in their careers and are looking for just, you know, a cost-effective, convenient living solution in a community that's really welcoming and engaging. So for senior living, you know, we do have seniors who are living in our properties. We work with the VA for an affordable housing program at our Manhattan location. So we've got, you know, folks who are in their 60s and 70s who are coming to the community happy hours right alongside people who are in their 20s and 30s. And, you know, they find that really stimulating, and they feel really cared for. And we're checking in on them at least once a week with our weekly housekeeping, which helps them feel a little bit safer as well. At our Pittsburgh location, we've got conventional apartments alongside our micro co-living apartments. So it not only offers kind of a really nice diverse spectrum of options to potential residents, but, you know, we've got professors who are living there right alongside their students, and right alongside young families and grandparents. So our product is here to provide that diversity and provide a wealth of options, depending on your price point, what your convenience needs are, and everywhere in between.
So when I look at, so if you go on their website, which you should do, and we'll put a link in the article with this, you'll see that it is very youth oriented. So looking at the pictures, you're going to see people who are in probably early to mid 20s to typically probably not older than 40. And geared really towards primarily towards singles, right?
Yeah, and I think that also, that is a product of who has been attracted to this lifestyle from the beginning. Our 4 core values are inclusiveness, wellness, discovery, and sustainability. So we want to make sure that our product is always abiding by fair housing compliance. So, you know, that's something on a marketing standpoint we always have to be really aware of. But we also want to make sure that we're providing an inclusive product that everyone feels welcome to. Those who are a little bit more cost conscious might be a little bit skewed younger, or a generation that values experiences over things might be more inclined to not have their own couch, not have their own linens and towels and that kind of thing. So it definitely organically skews younger, but we want to make sure that people know that this product really can apply to any age group and any demographic.
Gotcha. So what about food?
Great question. We do not include food in your refrigerator. We make sure our events always have, a beverage and a food option, of course. But we've been looking at partnering with companies like Fresh Direct and Blue Apron, because since we're already in the buildings and we have a hospitality staff on site with access to the rooms, it'd be a really relatively seamless operation to be that final step between the delivery and your refrigerator. So you as a resident wouldn't have to worry, my Fresh Direct was supposed to arrive this morning and it's just going to sit outside. We've got package rooms and all sorts of things like that. So food partnerships is definitely something that we've looked into. We worked with a company called Peapod, where it gave all of our residents just kind of a lifelong 10% off with our code. So that's something we're aware of.
And so when I look at this, I see so many really cool possibilities, right? I think, at one level, I could move in there when I get to be about 85, and I could go hang out with this active, bright group of people, and maybe I could even, if I needed more help, I could even hire some of them to come help me in my room, and I could use home health, and I could just stay there. There have been some things that have floated around about how I can go live in a Holiday Inn for a lot less money than a senior living community. So I'm sort of thinking this is a more practical part of that. But because for me, and I think for a lot of people, the sort of intergenerational thing has huge, huge appeal. But the other thing I guess I find myself thinking is that, maybe some of these senior living communities where they've got some empty apartments ought to joint venture this with you and create these naturally sort of almost naturally occurring type of mixed communities that don't exist right now. The orientation is very different. So do people actually share rooms or apartments? Do people mostly have their own, and can they bring in their own furniture?
It depends. So when we're talking about a co-living apartment, it's really just like your typical 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, just with slightly smaller bedrooms, and all of the furniture is included. We do have more conventional sized, larger units that are unfurnished. So our Pittsburgh property is a great example of that. Runs the whole spectrum of our micro studio to micro suites, the 2 and 3 bedroom co-living apartments, and then your conventional 1, 2, 3 bedroom, larger unfurnished units. So that really, again, it provides the consumer just a lot more diversity to choose from what their needs are. So if you had your own furniture, you would want to look for an unfurnished one of our apartments. Whereas, our co-living micro suites and micro studios are the plug and play units. What's great though about having the conventional apartments alongside our co-living community is that you can opt into our co-living services. So if you have your own furniture and want to live in a larger apartment, that's great. But then you want to add on the linen and towel laundry, the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash replenishment, the weekly housekeeping. We're already in the buildings. We're already servicing those units. So it's easy enough to add that on. And, we've kind of considered ourselves you can create playlists for buildings based on what the needs are. So if Ollie is, the hardware of a building, we can add on babysitting services if it's going to be a really family-oriented building. We can add on kind of more senior assisted living services, have an in-house nurse on staff, that kind of thing, if it's going to be a little bit more tailored towards that community. So we have all of these in-house capabilities within our property management arm, and it really just depends on the developer partners we find and what they want to do with the property.
Okay. And so I want to go back and let's just talk a little structurally. So are you mostly building new buildings, or are you going in and repurposing older buildings or office buildings, apartments, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so we, from the get-go, had focused on ground-up new construction. We thought that's where we were able to make the most impact in the building's life cycle. Now, those buildings can sometimes take multiple years to deliver. So our Long Island City building, Alta by Ollie, was the first contract that we signed. And that was back in, I want to say 2014, but the building didn't open until 2018. We opened 2 more buildings before it, actually. So it was our first contract, but third to deliver. And that was completely ground up. And we made an incredible impact on the floors we were given. So we occupy the bottom third of a 43-story high rise there. So that's one approach of ours, and it's very impactful. We also are able to go to our partners and say, do you have any underperforming assets you would like for us to take a look at and potentially manage with these co-living services? And then we can take a look at what we are legally and structurally and safely able to accomplish with those buildings. And I think also layering on, the cable and Wi-Fi and these other amenities automatically kind of increases the interest level of a consumer for a building. So that would kind of be like a conversion scenario. But we still want to make sure that we're targeting the larger scale buildings. You'll find in the co-living community, a lot of people cite the number of beds. So for example, in Long Island City, we have 422 co-living beds at that location spread out across 169 units, 169 apartments. So we want to target buildings, projects that are projecting over 100 beds in one location. Now, of course, there are outliers. We talked about our Kips Bay community, which is around 55 micro studios. In LA, our properties there are going to be anywhere from 31 to 50 beds. So we just want to make sure we're being smart about how we're allocating our staff, not stretching ourselves too thin. But that's into the minutia.
Yeah. So talk to me about how big a micro studio is, and does it include a bathroom, and does it include a kitchen?
Yes, kitchen and bathroom, all included, and everything is ADA compliant. So we're not skimping on anything in that realm. It's really just kind of your living space that transforms into your bedroom. Our designers source very high grade furniture. So we're not, we're not going after the assemble it yourself crews. We're partnering with companies over in Italy to provide kind of, furniture that will withstand the test of time. And on average for a studio, you're looking at around 325 square feet of personal space. And that's, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, the whole thing. In our micro suites, the 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, you're looking at a bedroom that's anywhere from 80 square feet to 200 square feet. But then you have the shared kitchen. Some of those master bedrooms have their own private ensuite bath, and then the other 2 residents are sharing the second bath. But we never want to exceed a 2-to-1 bed to bath ratio. And actually in our LA project, which has 6 and 7 bedroom apartments, every single person has their own private bathroom.
Cool. Well, this is so cool. I mean, so if I were if I were a senior living operator and I had some empty units I wanted to maybe talk to you about, I'd need to be able to have sort of theoretically at least maybe 50 to be able to make it sense for you guys to have that conversation.
Yeah, that'd be a good goal. But you know, we're open to have conversations with like-minded, creative developers and partners. It's really just about, you know, wanting to give this a go, and we know that it works, and we've been able to prove that at many of our properties, all of our properties. So having a developer who's just as excited about this product as we are, I think what's really unique about the senior living communities to begin with is that they already have, you know, the structural build out that's necessary. You have storage, you have office space, you have all these things that a traditional apartment building off the bat wouldn't necessarily think of. So we have to but we have to educate the developers on our need for, you know, an extra sink in the lobby, or, you know, things like that, where the senior living facilities already have that.
So, I had a question and I lost it. Man, that's what happens when you get old. No, I don't think that's yeah, so I mean, to me, the idea, oh, I know. How do you staff this?
Yes, that also depends on the size of the building. So for our LA properties, which is great, is that they're all within driving distance of each other. So we're going to be having a regional general manager who can oversee those properties. Whereas in Long Island City, that's such a large building that we have 2 dedicated on-site hospitality managers at that location. Same thing with our community managers. You know, that will probably start off as 1 community manager in LA who's scheduling and programming and executing all of the social programming. Whereas in New York, we have 2 to kind of divide up that workload. So it depends on the scale of the building, but we have our HQ staff, and that's everywhere from, you know, our business development team to our underwriting team, procurement, finance, community engagement, property management, and then we have our on-site teams.
So talk to me about the programming. Is there stuff going on every evening in normal times, not in COVID-19 times, but in normal times, every week, evening, and on weekends, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so in normal non-COVID-19 times, we were averaging around 8 to 10 events a month. And that was anywhere from happy hours, we would do private museum tours, scavenger hunt in Central Park. We would do live music Mondays at our properties, which was really fun. Rock climbing, fitness classes, really everything. And again, I touched on our core values earlier: discovery, inclusiveness, wellness, and sustainability. So, you know, going on a tour of a hydroponic farm and seeing how they grow plants indoors, making sure that we touch on all of those values every single month. And then about once a quarter, we would do an off-site trip. So we did pumpkin picking, apple picking, snow tubing. We went like snowshoeing and then hit up a brewery on our way back into the city. So really fun experiences that people are absolutely down to participate in, but wouldn't necessarily think to plan themselves. And, you know, it's fun for us because we partner with a local photographer, and he captures all these incredible pictures and video content. And that's fun for our residents to have. And it's fun for us to just kind of literally see the smiles on their faces. So, and again, with now we had to shift everything online. And I think we're not going to be the only ones who will see, you know, our our skills being put to the test to see what we can do when in-person interactions are limited. You know, having live Instagram concerts, or, you know, using Zoom to have a cooking demo and stuff like that. It's been a strange exercise, but really, really rewarding. And we're already thinking about, you know, what are the virtual aspects of this time that we're going to keep and continue and carry into when things go back to normal.
Cool. Well, this is really fun. I wish, I'm hoping maybe when you get your San Francisco one up and running, I'd love to come visit. That's only a couple hours from where I live, and I do get to Los Angeles occasionally. And actually, you know, used to get to even New York and other places, but not so much right now.
Yeah.
But I think this has creates such profound opportunities for senior living to do some of the things that you're doing, and bring some energy and innovation to it. So this is really, really exciting, cool stuff. Is there anything else I should be asking you about?
No, but I probably would be remiss if I didn't mention some of the technology that we have. So we developed an in-house living app, the Ollie Living app. And that's another thing that's really helpful for our residents of all ages. You get package notifications, you can submit maintenance requests, pay your rent. We're also working on technology to unlock your door all from the app. So it's just a good one-stop shop for everyone. So you're not going to one website to submit maintenance, another to, you know, figure out who to call for your microwave, that kind of thing. Making sure that the experience is as seamless as possible. And we also have a roommate matching. We partner with a company called Bedvetter, and it's a roommate matching platform. So a lot of times people are concerned about being able to find roommates, and that's a really good resource to match up before you sign a lease with us.
Well, that is really cool. Ryan, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about this. What I'd love to have you do is shoot me an email with links I can add that would be most appropriate for my audience, and hopefully send me some pictures and maybe even some video that I can include. So that would be fantastic. So I'm. Do you have any couples living in?
Yes, we have couples. And again, that depends on their preference of how much space they want to share.
Sure.
But we do have couples.
Good. Do you live in one?
I don't.
No?
But I know. I was hoping that, you know, working for Ollie, I'd get a little discount or something. But
yeah.
No, but I do have my eyes on one of my favorite layouts at our Long Island City. So, you know, maybe post-pandemic, I'll find my way there.
Ryan, again, thank you very much. This has been really, really cool. I appreciate it a ton. All righty. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too.